Hey, welcome to Satisfy YouTube channel. In my channel, we talk about money, personal finance, and picking up cardboard boxes as a form of exercise. Today, I'm going to review Singlife Grow, which was released sometime last year, but Singlife decided to market it more aggressively recently. As you may notice, there's $30 to receive when you sign up for a Singlife Grow policy, and you can just start with $1,000. So let's see whether it's a good idea, whether or not to take up such a policy. Now, in my very last video, I actually talked about how ILPs are a bad idea, and I specifically mentioned regular premium ILPs. Now, single premium ILPs are a different breed, and Singlife Grow is actually a single premium ILP. Unlike regular premium ILPs, single premium ILPs actually do not have very high distribution costs, so your allocation rate is either 100% or near 100% for the first year, and you can also terminate it at any time without having a termination penalty or suffer capital losses, unless of course your units have gone down below your buying price. Single premium ILPs focus a lot more on investments. In fact, there's hardly any insurance in it. There's only about 101% death benefit, which is a very minimal form of insurance component in a single premium ILP. In fact, in my opinion, I think the closest thing you can compare this to is a robo-advisor, not other insurance products. I'm going to talk about two things about it: its cost as well as its features. And let's get cost out of the way. Singlife Grow is not a cheap product. Now, it has a 0.25% quarterly fee, which is actually quite expensive if you look at the other alternatives available in the market. If you look at robo-advisors, around 0.5% fee per year seems like the standard right now. So 0.25% is actually slightly more than 1% per annum, and that is actually quite a high rate. So what do you get for that high rate is an important question to ask. Now, the 0.25% fee is the most obvious one that someone will notice on the Singlife website, but there are also other fees to be paid to the sub-funds actually. That's not immediately obvious. In fact, I have to pour through an almost 200 pages long document just to look at the different funds available and then go and look up the expense ratio of each fund. And I created this table so that someone who wishes to invest in Singlife Grow can have a more accurate picture of what the fees are per year. Based on my digging around and some calculation, Singlife Grow's conservative portfolio has a weighted expense ratio of about 1.32% per annum. The balanced portfolio has a 1.51% weighted expense ratio. The dynamic portfolio has a 1.66% per annum expense ratio. Now, the sub-funds of Singlife Grow are all actively managed, which means that they command a high annual management fee, which of course drives the expense ratio up. So if you add that to Singlife Grow's quarterly fee of 0.25%, every year you are incurring at least 2 to even 2.5% per annum expense ratio, and that is quite expensive as far as investing goes. Again, you can easily go to a robo-advisor which offers less than 1% expense ratio, and that makes a huge impact to your returns over a long time horizon. The pitch for actively management funds is usually that they can manage the fund better and give you better returns so that they can charge a high annual management fee. But if you look at historic returns, a lot of actively management funds actually do not outperform the benchmark or passive funds. So where is the value add in charging a high annual management fee? Most of the time, they're actually eating away at the returns and they end up having subpar performance compared to passively managed funds. In my opinion, my preference is to cut expense ratio as low as possible, so I personally don't think that more than 2% expense ratio is worth it. I would say that one of Singlife Grow's features is that it's convenient, and you can start and fund a policy with the convenience of downloading a smartphone app. Most other policies require you to go through an advisor to process, so it's actually quite inconvenient and you talk to a human for it. However, robo-advisors have been offering this for some time, so it's not like it's unique to Singlife Grow. And like most single premium ILPs, Singlife Grow offers a 101% death benefit on your account value or premium invested, whichever is higher. So if you have invested $100,000 into this policy and for whatever reason you unfortunately pass away and your account value is like, let's say $50,000, your beneficiaries will still get $101,000 even though your account value has fallen to that figure. And if your investments have reached $200,000 and you unfortunately pass away, your beneficiaries will receive $202,000. So it's 101% of your account value or the amount you've invested, whichever is higher. So it seems like a very nifty feature to have. It's like having free insurance coverage. But again, if you look at the higher cost of Singlife Grow versus its other competitors, you can see that you're actually purchasing that insurance coverage. And for someone who's relatively young, actually death coverage is very cheap. You can buy $300,000-$400,000 very cheaply, And the added cost of Singlife Grow versus its competitors is actually used to buy this insurance coverage anyway, so I don't think it's really that much of a benefit, but it's a feature nonetheless. So far, Singlife Grow isn't a very compelling product, but here's why you should sign up for it anyway. Number one, the sign-up gift is actually pretty decent. Currently, if you don't have a Singlife Grow portfolio yet, you get $30 for starting and funding your first Singlife Grow portfolio. Now, if the main problem of Singlife Grow is its fees, then this $30 actually offset the fees for at least a year. You get to try out the product, and if you don't like it, you can terminate it at any time without a penalty, and there's no lock-in period also. And for your first $1,000 of funding, you can use the Amex True Cashback Card or the UOB Absolute Cashback Card for either $15 or $70 of cashback respectively. So for those keeping count, it's $47 just to fund $1,000, which is immediate 4.7% return. The second reason why you should sign up is that by signing up for a Singlife Grow portfolio, your Singlife account actually gets an additional 0.5% per annum boost to the first $10,000 of savings. Now, because of the low interest rates that bank deposits are giving, a few robo-advisors actually offer cash management portfolios which are invested in low-risk assets, and they typically project about 1 to 2% per annum return. Even though such funds are supposed to be low on volatility and very low risk, one of my cash management portfolios in one of the robo-advisors actually experiencing some volatility there. Almost all my past month's gains were wiped out. Singlife Account's rate is fixed for the month, and if they change it, Singlife Account has to tell you before they do. And by subscribing to Singlife Grow, you can boost the figure to 1.5%, and by further spending $500 on the Visa debit card, you can get another 0.5%, making 2% per annum on your Singlife account. For super low-risk place to put some cash savings, 2% per annum is actually unheard of right now in this climate. So I think that is a very good option for people who have some spare cash lying around. In conclusion, Singlife Grow is not the worst ILP I've seen. In fact, it's nowhere near the worst ILP. In fact, it might be the best ILP I've seen, but that's not saying much considering how ILPs are designed in general. With the sign-up bonus as well as the cashback you get from the policy, as well as the fact that there's no lock-in and no withdrawal penalty, I think it's worth giving Singlife Grow a chance and a benefit of the doubt and see whether it performs over the next few months or even a year. It's also very easy and convenient to apply for. You can do it right on Singlife's app. And again, there's no lock-in period and there's no withdrawal penalty. So you can sign up, and if you feel like a week later you don't like it anymore, you can always terminate it. And Singlife Account is a good companion account that can accompany your Singlife Grow in giving you 1.5 or 2% per annum return on $10,000 savings. On the downside, its fees are higher than robo-advisors, so that's something you might want to take note of if you want to keep the plan for a very long term. If you want to sign up for it, I would appreciate if you use my link and referral code found below. And take note not to press the skip button when you first see it in the screen. I don't understand why anyone will put a skip button there. Is it to prevent us from getting the referral incentive when you sign up for it? Just don't press it. So anyway, let me know if you have other products you want me to review. And again, like I said in my last video, if you will propose a policy or you've been sold a policy and want someone to analyze the policy, send the benefit illustration to me and I'll review it and analyze it in my next video. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next video.